today, our studio is filled with green.
I know.
It's usually
everywhere.
It's usually a blue themed studio. Now it's green.
No, it's great.
Now it's green.
Good one.
Yes, because the first Indonesia's biggest Agritech industry festival is set to kick off a live audience on March the 15th.
Oh, okay. So it's March the 3rd now, 4th now, right?
Yes, it's happening in 11 days.
11 days, right. So the festival will feature a varied range of discussions and also insightful sessions from many experts, which also accommodate agri-tech industry business owners and also aspirants who wish to develop their potential and to actually expand their network. So, featuring the rise of agri-tech to enhance food security as the main theme, these experts will be sharing actual use cases, insights in the agri-tech area about new technologies, business opportunities, and also future trends, which will be very interesting.
Yes, and now for more details, let's have a chat with EduFarm's Chief Operating Officer as well as an event organizer, Mas Amri. Ilmma, good morning, Mas.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for being here, taking the time on a Saturday.
On a Saturday morning.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I hope you don't destroy your plans.
No.
No,
He's happy to inform about this.
Exactly. So, first of all, welcome to our studio. Welcome to C Morning Show. And let's start it off with what are your goals for this event? And what can we expect from the main theme, which is the rise of agri-tech to enhance food security?
I like the theme.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So first of all, good morning.
Yes.
It's very nice to meet you.
Vice versa.
My name is Amri. So I'm the CEO of EduFarmers Foundation. So very briefly about EduFarmers Foundation, we are a non-profit foundation that focus on education and training for farmers.
Right.
So we want to increase the productivity of farmers and also youth who is inspiring to also be in the agriculture sectors. And so this is our first conference, targeting more than 1,000 participants from the agri-tech startup industry and also from investors. And then as you already know, like the theme is increasing, like the rise of agri-tech to enhance the food security. So we have two teams here, actually, two teams. The first one is the food security issue, because as we know that there is a growing issues about food security, especially in the current years. We know there is this triple C crisis happening, COVID, climate change, is also conflict that affect the food security around the world. And so we want to highlight the importance of agriculture in addressing these food security issues and also raising awareness of the investors, of the policymakers, of the public about, like this a bigger agricultural landscape and how this can help solving addressing the food security issues. So that's the first one. The second one, the theme is also the rise of agri-tech.
Right, I like it, the rise.
The rise of agri-tech.
Somewhat reminds me of the Terminator.
Epic.
The rise of the Terminator. Exactly, yeah. So a growing business in the agri-tech sector, like the startup business has been in many sectors, but recently the startup is starting to grow in the agriculture sector. And so what we want to do is we want to connect the people in the industry. So we want to connect, like the startup, the aspiring young people who wants to starting a business in agriculture, and we want to connect them with the government, with the policymaker, with the investor. They have the resources to invest in their companies. And also, I think the third one is also to empower them and inspiring them, because in the conference itself, there will be panel discussion, keynote speech that highlighting what are the challenges, the opportunities in the sectors, and also in the new technological development, so they know about the current issues, right? And then they get inspired, and then we want to also empower them by connecting with the investor directly. So I hope that this can be a successful event, and thank you so much again for inviting me to promote this event.
Amen. Now, before we go deeper to the question, is this like an annual event, or what?
Yeah, yeah.
It's an annual event, so every year.
It's gonna be an annual event,
right.
but
So
this is our first conference.
this is the kick.
This is the kickoff,
the
yeah.
very kickoff of the conference. So
Right.
it has to be successful. And then, there might be some other conference in agriculture, but in this conference, we're focusing more specifically on the agri-tech industry.
Okay.
So the startup in agri-tech and also the technological development.
The cores, right?
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, you didn't mention about key points. Now, what
Yeah.
are some key points that will actually be discussed at the event itself?
Yeah, sure. So the Minister of Agriculture, Pak Syahrul Yassin Limpo, will come to speak and give insight about the landscape of agriculture in Indonesia and what are the plans from the government to further enhance the sectors. There will be also like the head of Kadin, Pak Arsyad Rashid, will also be speaking about how the Kadin, the association, can also support this new growing industry. Also, there is a session on the like decoding the $1 million opportunities in agri-tech sectors. There's also be a session in the alternative protein, like the protein, the meatless protein,
Right.
like tastes like meat, but it's actually not the meat.
Right.
It's from soybean, for example, right? There's also like an e-grocery session because it's still related to agriculture because they're sourcing from the farmers, from the suppliers that work directly with the farmers. And also aquaculture. Like a startup like e-fisheries, Delos, Aruna will come and also speak and share their experience about how they develop their business and become like multi-million-dollar companies.
Yes.
So a lot of to cover, but last but not least, of course, the topic of food security, where we are inviting a representative from Google and also state-owned enterprise and also from the government to discuss about how together as a industry we can improve and addressing the food security issues.
Nice one.
Yes,
Very sharp.
Especially for people like us who don't really know what agriculture is all about.
Right. It's not just about that,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
We thought it was just, this bulk.
Yes.
It turns out it's that big.
Yes, it's a lot of umbrella. It's a big umbrella, and it has a lot of topic under it.
Right, it is true. It is true.
So just because this is your first ever event and you're going to cover a lot of agriculture topics in there, what are some major challenges faced by the agri-tech sector right now? And how have agri-tech aspirants and also enthusiasts helped to overcome these challenges so far?
Yeah, sure. So there are challenges, but also, of course, there are some opportunities, right? Like the challenges, for example, we know that this period, we know like a winter tech funding, so the agriculture startup or the agri-tech startups need to be prepared to get funding from the investor because sometimes it's require a significant investment to open the business, right? And so they need to have a strong business plan to get the funding from the investor. I think that's the first challenges. The second one is on the sustainability and the scalability of the solution. So not only they also need to focus on increasing the production of the agricultural crops, but also focusing on the sustainability issues, how to make it more environmentally and socially sustainable, and think about how those solutions can be scaled so that it can be used by more and more farmers across Indonesia.
Yeah.
So some challenges, but I think there is still also a very big opportunities, right? Because Indonesia is a really big country.
Yeah.
It is.
The agriculture sector is the third biggest sector in Indonesia, contributing to around 12.4% of the Indonesia GDP. So the market is there, the demand is there, right? The people who will buy the product, there is a growing middle class population as well. So the agri-tech startup can also provide a more affordable food and more sustainable food solution.
Okay.
And also another opportunity would be there is a growing demand for a more sustainable production and technology that can help increase the crop yields of the farmers, reduce waste, and also like the technology that can further make the production more efficient from the farmer side. And last but not least, there is also increasing interest from the government of Indonesia and also from the investor agritech startups that is focused to working on a sustainable solution. And it's provide access for them to get funding more easily, because they're not only focusing on increasing production, but also care about the environment, right? They care about, like how when they produce something, they also think about planting trees, for example, that can absorb carbon and whatnot. Yeah, so those are some example of the opportunities and challenges. The challenge is there, but I think the opportunity is even bigger.
Of course,
So
of course.
I'm confident in this industry.
Positive thinking about that. Now, obviously, Ms. Amri, later in the exhibition itself, some 30 startups will actually showcase, right, their products at the Agritech Village itself, and also there will be 6 selected startups, if I'm not mistaken, and also there will have more bigger opportunities to actually expand themselves there. Now, actually, will these startups in the future be connected exclusively with the potential investors itself?
Yeah, sure. But let me just explain a little bit about the concept of the conference, right? So we're inviting, like hundreds of startups already registering for the event, and also like tens
How
of
many
investors.
startups, if we may know, how many startups actually?
It's more than 150, I think, so far. Yeah, almost 200, and then. So there's going to be two kinds of attendance, right? The first one is general attendees. So everyone can register. The conference is free. You can register. Please register in our website, agri/conference.com. But then the second one, there's also a registration for startup exhibition, where there is already almost 100 startups actually registering to be part of the exhibition booth. And from those 100 startups, we curate them and select the best 30 to be showcased and highlighted, and we give them the booth in the areas, right?
What are the keys that you need to actually set up for, like, we are going to choose this startup?
Yeah, sure. Certainly there are some like criteria, right? Like, for example, what kind of solution that they try to address to the current needs for agriculture, for example. The second one is how big is the startup. We want to empower not only like the big guy startup, but also the startup that is not yet famous, is still small. The fundraising is still less than $500,000. The valuation is still less than $15 million.
But they have potential.
They have the potential, so we select them to be like showcasing their product in the exhibition area. And then among those 30 plus startups, we're gonna select the 6th one that is gonna showcase their product and their business plan, like pitching, right? Like 2 minutes pitching in front of the audience. And follow up by Q&A, by the investor, by the audience, and there's going to be a session called Startup Highlight. So those 6 are going to be on the stage, on the main stage.
Interesting.
Just like Shark Tank.
I know, it's like a test, right?
No. So I was just really curious, Ms. Amri, what was your background and what got you into this sector?
Sure, yeah. So actually, my background is in economics. I have a bachelor degree in mathematics, but then after that, economics, and then public policy. But then I started working in the agriculture sector back in 2018. So when I first joined like a coffee consulting company called Veritas, and from there I work a lot with the farmers directly, because we are visiting a lot of farmers across Indonesia and across the world. To survey them, to get better them, like about their activity and whatnot.
Better point of view.
Exactly, better point of view, and then provide a a sustainable approach on how various actors can work together with the farmers to create an impact. And then earlier last year, I joined Veritas. I do Farmers. My current organization, a non-profit organization that strive to educate the young people and also the smallholder farmers. So which is also like my passion in agriculture and whatnot.
Exactly.
So that's
I can
how
see that
come
you're
to
very
be.
passionate about this.
We can feel
We
it.
can feel
Yes.
it right away. And because we were talking about the younger generations, you got into this sector at a young age as well, that grow your interest. So what are your best tips for the younger generations right now who are keen on starting an Agritech business? And what are the things that they should be preparing for in the next future?
Sure, yeah. So maybe some insight for the young people that want to do business in agriculture, Agritech startup. First, I think they need to know about the industries, right? They need to know about the sector. So learn as much as you can, to get to know with farmers, with the distribution of the food, for example, up to the consumers. And learn about the challenges as well and opportunities, and try to create a business plan from that. And then secondly, I think you also need to work with the community because, agriculture sector, a lot of time we work together with the farmers and the community, right? So we need to make sure that we understand what are their problems, so that we can provide a specific solution that can address the farmer's problem. For example, if they have a problem in terms of pest and disease management, what kind of seed that I need to choose to get the best productivity in my farm, for example, and also the technology that the farmer can use, because there are some technology already, like drone for spraying, like drip irrigation, some digital farming. But the question would be, are this technology is actually suitable to be used by smallholder farmers? Right. So that's, you also need to think about that, right?
Because it's always correlated with the fundings, right, with the money.
Exactly, yeah. And then also try to build a strong team that can support your ideas and make it happen, like try to connect with the bigger audience, connect with the government, with the investor, more industry expert, reading about the current events, and attending the conference to get insight. Exactly.
That's the whole point of this
that is the whole point.
To gather more people to come to the conference.
Yes.
This is a kickoff conference.
A kickoff conference.
Of course. And our last question would be, what is your hope, for the agri-tech industry players in the future?
Sure, yeah. So I think the first one is focusing on sustainability, because productivity of agriculture is very important because we need to feed the growing population of people. But at the same time, we need to maintain the environment. So we need to find quite a balance between the productivity but also the sustainability to make sure that we protect the natural resources, reduce waste, and etc. Right? And the second one, I think, fostering collaboration, because collaboration is really important. This is a very complex problem that the industry need to address. So no one particular organization or company can solve all the problems, right? They have a different expertise. They have a different specific a product, right, that they have. So by working together, I think there is this make it easier for all of us to connect, to share what's working, and provide a better solution for everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
So I hope the industry is keep growing, and the opportunity is there, is big. We together can make a positive impact for the food securities.
Amen to that. Our prayers. So again, good luck for you and also for your team for the big upcoming event.
It must be nerve-wracking.
March 15th.
I guess this is the first ever conference.
The first that hosted by Edu Farmers.
Farmers. So good luck on that.
Thank you so much. We want to raise awareness, but don't forget, 15th of March 2023, so less than 2 weeks, in Menara Mandiri, Jakarta. If you haven't registered, please register in agri/conference.com. Thank you so much.
/conference.com. Thank you so very much, Ms. Amri, for the insight. Again, all the best.
Thank you so much for having me.